Hi guys, morning to all. So welcome to DevOps with AWS sessions. All are getting my screen and voice. Please confirm, guys.
Recording in progress.
All are getting my screen and voice. Please confirm in chat box. Fine. So before going to start, I will give brief introduction about myself. So for this DevOps with AWS course, who is the trainer, guys? Myself. So I'm having myself Raju first. I'm having 10 plus years of working experience. Currently, I'm working as a senior technical specialist. So apart that, I'm having 7 plus years of trainer experience also. So if you attend for this course, the trainer who is going to teach only for DevOps, that is different. So he can able to cover only the DevOps operations. But if you attend for this course, if you take this course from the full stack developer in the sense everything that person only is going to take care, application development and operations, both that person only will take care from scratch to delivery. So everything that person only will take care. So developing the application, deploying the application, deliver the application to the client, everything that person only is going to take care. So that is different, guys. Right. So in my project, I'm taking care about the complete development of the application and operations also, both I'm taking care of here. So for development perspective, I'm using Java. I'm very strong in Java. Right, full stack, Java full stack, right, front end, back end, database, everything I'm very strong. Apart that, operations also I'm only taking care. So deployments, right, AWS cloud, everything I'm only taking care in my project. So here, so from scratch to see, if you first Maven, GitHub, Jenkins and everything, right, in detail I can able to discuss it here. So why? Because for Java people, all these things are the mandatory things. If they want work on Java, compulsory they should have very strong knowledge on all these tools. Then only they can able to work. So that's why not theoretically, guys, practically from scratch to project deliver to the client. What is the happening? Each and every stage I can able to show practically it here. That is about myself, guys. Coming to this course, what are the prerequisites, guys? If you want attend for this DevOps with AWS course, so what are the prerequisites? What we required to attend for this DevOps with AWS course? Nothing is required, guys. Nothing is required. There is no prerequisites to attend for this course. And if you have basic knowledge on Linux, that is good to enough, guys. That is enough. Apart that, nothing is required. Even if you guys don't have the basic knowledge on Linux, no problem. Here first we are going to start with that Linux concepts only. So we will discuss all the commands what we have in Linux. The first thing what we are going to discuss is Linux only. Why? Because for DevOps and AWS both, Linux is the mandatory. Without having knowledge on Linux, we can't able to do anything. So first you guys should have the knowledge on Linux. If you guys have the basic knowledge on Linux, that is very good. Even if you guys don't know the knowledge on Linux, no problem. First I'm going to cover that Linux only. So this is the prerequisites to attend for this DevOps with AWS course, guys. Up to here clear? Guys, please respond up to here clear.
It's clear. We can see Python also there in the curriculum actually.
Right. So yeah, I will talk about that.
Yeah, sure.
So here, so why we need to use the Python? So Python is a scripting language. Why we need the scripting language for this DevOps with AWS? See, sometimes so our DevOps tools can't able to perform something, guys. Whatever the things our DevOps tools can't able to perform, those things we are going to do by using the scripting. Right. So whatever the DevOps tools are, they like Jenkins is there, right? Docker is there. All those things we are going to automate by using this Python scripting. For that, so here I'm going to cover how much Python scripting is required to automate this DevOps tools. That part I'm going to cover it here. Python scripting also I'm going to cover it here. Right. So first, what I'm going to cover? What is the course content? First, I'm going to discuss. Just I will give the introduction of the DevOps. Right. Instead of starting Linux directly, first I will give the introduction of DevOps. Why we need to attend for this DevOps session. So what is the purpose of this DevOps? Before DevOps, what people use it to do to deliver the project to client. All those things we will discuss first. Introduction of DevOps. So in this introduction, what we are going to learn? What is DevOps? Why DevOps? Right. So and here, what is a software development life cycle? Right. What methodologies are available in the software development life cycle? Waterfall methodology, agile methodology, and what is the difference between waterfall methodology and agile methodology? All those things we are going to understand in introduction part. So once this introduction part is completed, second, I will discuss about Linux and shell scripting. Linux and shell scripting, I will discuss it here. Right, approximately 8 to 10 sessions, right? Approximately 10 sessions I'm going to spend on this Linux and shell scripting. To complete this Linux and shell scripting, I'm going to take 10 sessions, guys. Right. Once this Linux and shell scripting is completed, so next I will start with our DevOps tools. Right. How many DevOps tools I'm going to cover it here? Right. I'm going to cover 15 plus DevOps tools, guys. 15 plus DevOps tools I'm going to discuss it here. So what 15 plus DevOps tools I will discuss, I will note it down at here. Please give me the time. First, I will talk about the introduction part. Once you guys clear about the introduction, I will discuss about Linux and shell scripting. Next, I will talk about DevOps tools. 15 plus DevOps tools we are going to discuss it here. Right. So next, I will talk about AWS Cloud. AWS Cloud. See, how many services are available in AWS, guys? Anyone have any idea? Total, how many services are available in AWS Cloud?
A to Z services.
Right. We have 200 plus services are available in AWS, guys. 200 plus services are available. Right here, so we are going to understand the topmost. Suppose if you attend only for DevOps classes also, no one will cover all those things. If you attend only for DevOps, they will cover approximately 15 services like that. To discuss those 15 services only, it will take 45 days minimum. And here we are going to discuss 20 plus AWS services. The most important, frequently used 20 plus AWS services we are going to discuss it here. 20 plus services we are going to discuss it here. And once this DevOps tools is completed, DevOps tools and AWS Cloud is completed, so next I'm going to discuss about the real-time projects. Real-time project. See guys, real-time project means everything I will show end to end. Here, whatever the DevOps tools we are using, whatever AWS cloud we are learning, all these tools and all these services I'm going to implement in this project, guys. Let's see, DevOps tools we will use, GitHub we will use, Maven we will use, SonarQube we will use, Jenkins we will use, Docker we will use, Docker Swarm we will use, Kubernetes we will use, Nexus we will use, Tomcat we will use. Everything we are going to learn at here. And all those things I'm going to implement in this project. I'm going to show how to use all those things in our real-time project in the companies, how to use all those tools, where exactly those tools come into the picture in real-time project. Everything I will show guys here. So we don't know. So whether you guys are going to work for Java project or Python project, we don't know that. See, for in the company, if you want to develop any project, separate development team is available, separate testing team is available for the project, guys. Developers are not going to involve in multiple projects at a time. Testing team also not going to involve in multiple projects at a time. Right? The dedicated development team and the dedicated testing teams are available for the project. But coming to DevOps engineers, not like that. Dedicated DevOps engineers are not available for the project. DevOps engineers should work on multiple projects simultaneously. The companies, DevOps engineers are going to work on multiple projects simultaneously. We don't know whether you are going to work for Java or Python project. Right? You should be in a position to work for any project. So that's why here I'm going to show, right, in real time, right, where DevOps, right, how DevOps people will work in Java related project and how DevOps people will work for Python related project. Both I'm going to show it here. Both I'm going to show. You guys can keep these real time projects in your resumes. Right, end to end we are going to discuss. Once you guys got the clear clarity about this real time projects, you guys can put 4+ years of experience in your resume. Right, if you guys are clear about all these things, right, you guys can put minimum 4+ years of experience in your resumes. Understood, guys? So once this real-time project part is completed, I will talk about Python scripting. Python scripting, I'm going to discuss it. Right. So next, I'm going to talk about interview questions. I will give interview questions also. Frequently asked interview questions I will share, guys. And I will take one session and I will show, right, with all these tools and services how to prepare the resume. With all these tools and services, how to prepare the resume also I will take 1 or 2 sessions, guys.
Sir, any Java related knowledge also we will gain from here?
No, guys, no. So in my laptop, I have hundreds of Java projects are there. Right, from small scale applications to medium scale applications, I have so many projects are available. Right, I will take, but you guys will get complete knowledge on Maven. So pom.xml, how to take the dependencies, how to configure the dependencies, from where dependencies will be downloaded, what are the repositories, local repository, central repository, right? So all these things you guys will get to know.
When we are saying DevOps and all, we will get knowledge on creating pipelines as well.
Yeah. Jenkins, in Jenkins, we will discuss that one only, guys. How to create the pipeline, how to monitor that pipeline. If 5 pipelines got failed, what we need to do, right? How to troubleshoot the issues if pipeline failed. So all those things we will discuss. So in Jenkins, we will understand what is pipeline, how to create the pipeline, everything. See guys, this is the course content which I am going to cover. Please go through these things, guys. Please have a look into this. So guys, introduction in the sense what I am going to talk here. I'm going to discuss what is DevOps, what is the DevOps life cycle, right? Why we need to learn this DevOps, right? What is SDLC, what is waterfall methodology, what is agile methodology, and all those things we are discussing. What is the difference between waterfall and agile methodology, we are going to discuss in introduction part. So in second part, what we are going to understand Linux and shell scripting, what is operating system, what is the Windows operating system, and what is Linux operating system, what is the difference between Windows and Linux operating systems, right? Introduction of the Linux and how to set up the Linux commands and shell scripting we will discuss. Guys, please mute. Here what we are going to discuss, guys. What is DevOps? Why DevOps? What is SDLC, software development lifecycle? SDLC methodologies, waterfall methodology, agile methodology. Agile methodology and the differences between these two. And all these things we are going to discuss in introduction part. So coming to second part, here what we are going to understand, what is operating system, and Windows versus Linux, Windows operating system versus Linux operating system, introduction of the Linux and the setup, Linux setup and the introduction. Next here Linux commands we are going to practice. Next here, so we will talk about the shell scripting. So these things we are going to discuss in Linux and shell scripting. Right. Next, coming to our DevOps tools. What tools we are going to discuss it here? What tools we are going to discuss in DevOps? Yes. So very first we are going to talk about Maven. We will discuss GitHub, SonarQube, Jenkins with pipelines, Ansible, Terraform, Docker, Docker Swarm, Kubernetes, ELK stack, ELK. This ELK, so we will talk about Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. Next, we will discuss some monitoring tools also. Grafana, Prometheus, so we will talk about Nexus and Apache Tomcat, etc. So all these things we are going to discuss in our DevOps, guys. Please have a look into this. Among all these tools, which tools are very, very, very important? If you attend for the interview, on which tool they will focus more, on which tool interviewer will focus more, on which tool interviewer will ask more questions. The very, very, very important tools, Jenkins and Dockers and Kubernetes. These three are the very, very, very important, guys. Right? If you don't have the strong knowledge on all these things, Jenkins and DevOps, Jenkins, Docker and Kubernetes, don't attend for the interviews. 80% of the questions will come on these things only, Jenkins, Docker and Kubernetes. And among all these 15 tools, which tool is difficult? Which tool is difficult among all these things? Kubernetes is very, very difficult to understand. Kubernetes is very, very difficult to understand. Right. In other institutes, I observed what that they are covering, or they are taking only 2 to 3 sessions on the Kubernetes and they are closing. Only 2 to 3 sessions they are conducting on Kubernetes. Just a high level they are discussing and they are closing the Kubernetes. But now here I am going to spend approximately 10 days on this Kubernetes. I am going to provide in detail knowledge on this Kubernetes. Right, only Jenkins, Docker and Kubernetes I am going to discuss more than 1 month of the time, guys. Jenkins, Docker and Kubernetes, these three I will spend minimum 1 month of the time. These three are very, very important, and compare with other tools, it will take more time also. Minimum 1 month I am spending on these three tools. You guys can check with the people who are attending in other institutes, right? How many days Maven is discussing, how many days GitHub is discussing in their institutes, right? They will tell only 1 day, Maven 1 day, GitHub 2 days, right? Jenkins 2 days, like that they will tell. Right, here only Maven internals also. Here we need to understand. We are learning the course in the sense we should understand internals also. Internally what is happening. Then only confidently you guys can able to attend for the interviews. If you guys don't know the internals, right, you guys can't able to go for the interview confidently, guys. If you want sit in front of the interviewer confidently, you guys should know the internals also. Here I am going to discuss those internals also. Right, each and everything in detail we are going to discuss. Understood, guys? So guys, tell me, what is the purpose of this Maven? Why we need to learn Maven, guys? Anyone have any idea? What is Maven? Why we need to learn it? Maven is a build tool, guys. Maven is a build tool. What is GitHub? GitHub is the source code repository. What is SonarQube? We will use SonarQube for code quality checking. What is Jenkins? We will use Jenkins for deployment purpose. What is Ansible? We will use Ansible for, what is Ansible? Why we need to learn Ansible? Configuration management purpose, we will use Ansible, guys. What is the Terraform? Terraform we will use for infrastructure setup. What is a Docker and Kubernetes? What is Docker and what is Kubernetes? Why we will use these two things? Why we will use these two things, Docker and Kubernetes? If you want to deploy the project, in multiple servers at a time, multiple servers, if you want to deploy the project, right, we need to go for this Dockers and Kubernetes. By using Jenkins, we are deploying the project into single server, but I want to maintain my project in multiple servers. I don't know, right? So maybe one server, if I deploy the project in only in one server, if that server got crashed, what I need to do? What I need to do, guys? I have given the promise to the client 24/7 without any downtime. My application will be in running condition. So that is the promise what I have given to the clients, customers. But here you are deploying the project in only one server. Due to any reason, if that server got crashed, your application will run, guys? No. But you have given the promise to clients, your application will run 24/7 without any downtime. So that's why always we need to deploy the project in multiple servers, not in single server. Did you get any message from Gmail today? Right. So from this time to this time, our application is down. Application is not going to work like that. Did you get any message? No. Gmail 24/7 it will run. Facebook, right, all these applications 24/7 running means they are deploying that applications in multiple servers. If you take any banking projects also, right, every project, if you take any project, right, they will deploy in multiple servers. So that's why those applications are running 24/7 without any downtime, guys. So if you want to maintain the project in multiple servers, we need to go with this Dockers and Kubernetes. Right, guys? Right, what is this Grafana, Prometheus and all these things, guys? See, suppose one patient is admitted in the ICU. Right, you need to monitor that patient 24/7 or not. Patient is in ICU. Right, you need to monitor that patient 24/7. What is the heart rate? Right, how that guy is taking the breath. Right, what is the pulse? Everything you need to monitor 24/7. Here also, once we deployed the application into the server, 24/7 monitoring is required. How my application is running, how much fast my application is running, right? Per day, how many requests are coming to my application, right? How my application is providing the responses, how many requests are getting success, how many requests are getting failed. Everything we need to monitor. To monitor that, we should have some monitoring tools. So these Grafana, Prometheus, all these things are the monitoring tools only. Right? So next, what is this Nexus, guys? What is this Nexus? Here, so we are creating, see, I have one Java project, guys. I have one Java project. Can I give that Java code directly to the client? No, client can't able to understand that Java code. He don't know anything about the Java. If he knows about the Java, he can develop that project, right? Why he is giving to us? He don't know anything about the Java. So what I need to do? I need to build that project first, right? So after building, so I need to convert as a WAR file that project. Right, I need to convert as a plugin. I need to package that project as a WAR file. Entire Java project I want to package as a WAR file. And I will give that WAR file. I will deploy that WAR file into the servers. Before deploying that WAR files into the servers, we need to keep that WAR files in some location. From there, we need to take and we need to deploy into the server. where you are going to put all those var files and all these packaged files plugins, right? We are going to maintain all those things in Nexus. Nexus is a repository server where we will maintain all the vars and jars, these kind of packages, right? From there, from Nexus, we will take and we will deploy into the servers. Tomcat is what, guys? It is a web server. If you want to run any web application, we should have one web server, that is Tomcat. Here Tomcat we are going to use as a web server. Is it clear? Guys, up to here clear? All these tools you guys are going to get in-depth knowledge, guys. Now, on all these tools you guys are going to get in-depth knowledge. See, guys, diagrammatically I am going to show where these tools are coming into the picture. Where all these tools will come into the picture, diagrammatically I will show, guys. Then you guys will get more clarity. You guys will get more clarity. Observe very, very carefully, guys. Observe very, very carefully. See, guys, assume in my project multiple developers are working. Assume in my project multiple developers are working. Project in the sense multiple developers are available or not. Single person can't able to complete the project. So multiple developers are required in the project. Assume here multiple developers are working in my project. Yes, if you guys clear this diagram, you will get all the everything, guys. Which tool we will use, where we will use which tool, everything you guys will understand. Try to understand this. See, multiple developers are working in my project. Right, 4 persons are there. These 4 people are working in my project. This is, we will call it as dev team, development team. This is dev team, guys, developers. Right. So what these guys will do? These guys will write the code according to business requirement. These guys are going to write the code, guys. Client will give the requirement. Based on that requirement, developers needs to write the code. Right? These guys will write the code. See, guys, after writing the code, what these guys will do? What these guys, developers directly will go and meet the clients. Developers directly meet to the client and they will give the code to them. No. What these guys need to do? Right? These guys need to put the code in one repository. Whatever these people are writing, 4 developers are working on 4 different tasks. Right. So whatever they implemented, everything they need to upload in one repository. So here we are going to use GitHub repository. So this is my GitHub repository. This is my GitHub repository where developers will upload their code. What this GitHub repository will do, we will discuss. GitHub repository. GitHub repository, guys. Right here, 4 people are working on 4 different tasks, and they will upload the code into GitHub repository. GitHub repository will take the code from the multiple developers and it will integrate as a single project. What GitHub is doing? It will take the code from multiple developers and it will integrate as a project. Right? So what other things GitHub will do, we will discuss, guys. Right? All the developers should upload their code into this GitHub repository. Right here, what these people are doing, these people are pushing the code into this GitHub repository. Right. So here, which GitHub repository we are going to use? We have so many repositories are available. Right. Earlier, people used to work with SVN. Nowadays, no one is using this SVN, guys. Right. So at the beginning of my career, 10 10 years back I used this SVN, guys. Right now the companies are using either GitHub or Bitbucket. Either GitHub or Bitbucket. Right, GitHub and Bitbucket, most popular tools, guys, repository tools. Right, companies are using either Bitbucket or GitHub, guys. SVN, no one is using SVN. This is old, updated. Sorry, outdated, guys. SVN is outdated. Okay, so these are the repository tools which we have, guys. Right, in our sessions we are going to talk about the GitHub. GitHub we are going to discuss. What is this repository, guys? Where developers will upload the code. Where developers are upload the code, that is called the repository. Right, once the developers are uploaded the code into the repository, so what is the next cinema? See, guys, here I have AWS Cloud. I have AWS Cloud. This is my AWS Cloud. Right. So in this AWS Cloud, I'm going to create one EC2 instance, one Linux machine. I'm taking it here. I'm creating one Linux machine in AWS Cloud. This is my EC2 instance. This is my EC2 instance, guys. EC2 instance which I have created it here. All right. So if you want to deploy any application, we should have one server. So that's why here I'm going to create one server. I'm going to install one server in this Linux machine. EC2 instance is nothing but what? One Linux machine. In that Linux machine, I'm going to take one web server. One web server I'm going to take here. I need to deploy the application. So that's why here I'm taking one web server. Right. So now here multiple web servers I'm taking it here. I want to deploy the application in multiple web servers, right? I told multiple servers I will deploy the application. That's why here I'm going to take multiple servers. Web server 1, web server 2, web server 3. Like that, I'm taking multiple web server in this Linux machine. Okay, so here these servers are going to communicate with database also. These servers are going to communicate with database also. This is my database. These servers will communicate with this database also. Right, guys. So this is called as what? Infrastructure setup, guys. Right, this AWS cloud, inside the AWS cloud, creating one EC2 instance, right? Everything is the infrastructure setup. If you want to do any business, suppose I want to start one restaurant business, for that infrastructure setup is required or not? Infrastructure, one kitchen room is required, dining room is required, tables are required, chairs are required, right? All these things are nothing but what? Infrastructure. First we need to ready that infrastructure, then only we can start the restaurant business. At the same time, if you want to deploy one application in any servers, first you should have the infrastructure, right? So for that infrastructure purpose, I'm going to AWS Cloud. AWS Cloud is the one of the service provider. They will provide the services. They will provide the software services for the rent, guys. They will provide all these services for rent, right? We are taking for the rent all these things. Right, infrastructure setup where we are doing in AWS Cloud only we are doing the infrastructure setup. Inside the AWS Cloud, we are creating one Linux virtual machine. Inside the Linux virtual machine, we are installing the servers, guys. Multiple servers we are installing. Right, once this infrastructure is set, infrastructure is ready, I need to deploy this application. Here, whatever the application is there in this repository, that application I need to deploy into these servers. Understood, guys? So now tell me, developers will deploy the project into the servers directly. Right here, if you go for any company, two teams are available. If you go for in project development, two teams are available. One is development team, another one is operations team. One is the development team and another one is operations team. What development team will do? development team will do this part only. Development team will develop the project according to the client requirement, and they will push the code into this remote repository. Up to this part will taking care by the developers. Whatever the client given the requirement, based on that they need to write the code. Once code is done, they need to upload that code into the GitHub repository. This is the development activity. If you go for any project, development team and operations team are available. Two teams are available. What development team will do? They will write the code and they will upload the code into the GitHub repository. That's it. Developer's job is done. Right, then who will deploy this project into the repository? Who will deliver the project? Sorry, servers. Who will deliver the project to client? So that everything will be taken care by operations team. Operations team means what? Our DevOps team. In the company's development team is available, operations team is available. What is the duty of the development team? Writing the code and uploading that code into the repository. That's it. Right? Who will take the code from the repository and who will deploy that code into the servers? Operations team. Operations team will do that activity. Right, guys. Here next up. So what operations team needs to do? Right, earlier taking the code from this repository and building that code and packaging as a WAR file and checking the code quality and deploying that code, deploying the project into the servers. Everything is manual process, guys. Earlier, so this process, everything is manual process. But now, right, through DevOps tools, by using DevOps tools, we are automating this process. Instead of doing manually everything, we are automating this entire process by using these DevOps tools. Right, what operations team needs to do? Observe very carefully, guys. Right, the development team activity is done. Now, operations team come into the picture. What operations team will do? Observe carefully. Observe carefully, guys. Operations. What operations they will perform? First, very first one, guys. Infrastructure setup. Set up the infrastructure. Right. If you want to deploy the application, first you should have the required infrastructure. Then only you can able to deploy the project, guys. Infrastructure setup means what you will do? You will set up the machines. Computers are required. Machines setup. Right. So in those machines, you need to install some softwares. Software installations. Right. So next you need to set up the servers. Servers you need to set up, guys. Right, guys. So next we require some DB setup also. Database setup also required. Database setup also required. Next, storage, guys. We need to store the data. Some storage setup is required. Some storage setup also required at here. And next, some network and power backup. Everything will come under infrastructure setup. All these things operations team need to take care. Everything will come under infrastructure setup, guys. Right, guys. See here, missions, we no need to worry about that. Right, we are going to work with AWS Cloud. Right, AWS Cloud will provide the missions. AWS Cloud will provide the missions. We no need to bother about that. So software installations. For installations purpose, what we are going to use, guys? And here we are going to use Ansible. Ansible is a configuration management tool. By using that Ansible, we can configure the softwares in the machines. Whatever the softwares you require, all those softwares you can able to configure by using configuration management tool. Which configuration management tool we are going to use here? Ansible we are going to use as a configuration management tool. Is it clear why we are going to learn Ansible? To configure the softwares in the machines. Configure the softwares in the machines. Suppose I have 100 servers. In 100 servers, I want in each server, I want to configure 10 softwares. 100 into 10, 1000 softwares I need to configure in all 100 servers. If you want to do manually, right, if you want to go and if you want to install manually in each and every system, how much time it will take? It will take lot of the time. How many resources are required to do that activity? Multiple resources are required. So instead of taking multiple resources and instead of spending that much of the time by using Ansible, right, only one person can do this activity within fraction of the seconds. We can save a lot of time and we can save the manpower, we can save the money, everything if you use these configuration management tools. Within fraction of seconds by using Ansible, right, I will sit in front of my machine. From my machine, remotely I will connect with all 100 machines and within fraction of seconds, I will install, right, all the required softwares in all 100 machines. But in my machine, what I should have? If I want to do that activity in my machine, what I should have? In my machine, I should have this Ansible software. If I install Ansible software in my machine, by using that Ansible, I can able to install hundreds of software in hundreds of machines at a time. At a time, guys. So that is the purpose of Ansible. That is the purpose of Ansible. Right here, we are going to use configuration management tool Ansible, guys. Right. Okay. Infrastructure is ready. So what is the next activity operations team need to do? Right here, developers are uploaded the code into the repository. So operations team need to take that code. Operations team need to download that code. Download code from repository. Whatever the code developers are uploaded into the repository, that code we need to download. After downloading, what you will do? You will give directly to the client. You will deploy directly into the servers. No, computer can't able to understand this Java code. Computer can able to understand only byte code, right? Computer can't able to understand Java code. Then what you will do? What you will do, guys, here? So you need to take the code from the repository. Then what you need to do? You need to compile the code. Compiling means what? Converting Java code to byte code. Byte code means zeros and ones. Zeros and ones, guys. Right? How you will convert source code to byte code, guys? Whatever the code we have in this Git repository, that code we will call it as source code. I want to convert that source code as the byte code, zeros and ones. For that, what we need to do? We need to compile the code. Compilation means what? Converting Java code, source code to byte code is called as compilation. So we need to convert source code to byte code. For that, we are going to do compilation. Compile the project, compile the code. Okay, I have converted, guys. So many files are available. Hundreds of files are available. How you will give all 100 files to the client? How you will give all 100 files to the client? We need to package all those files as a WAR file or jar file. We need to combine all those files as a package as WAR or jar file. Right? Compile the code and package the code. And package the code we need to do here, guys. Right. So once compilation and packaging is done, what is the next activity the operations team need to do? Here they need to verify the code review. How the developers written the code. So they followed the coding standards or not. Right? How they have written the code, everything we need to review, guys. Right? Once code review is done, next what we need to do? We need to deploy the project into the server. Deploy the project into the server. Guys, now tell me here, missions setup and everything, we are going to use Terraform. By using Terraform, what we will do, guys? Infrastructure setup we are going to do. Infrastructure means what? Missions. What missions are required? How many missions are required? Everything we are going to do by using Terraform. Here, for this purpose, Right, we are going to use it here, Terraform. Right, so this infrastructure setup we can do in two ways, guys. Right, either by using GUI we can do, through GUI also we can do. Right, in most of the companies nowadays they are asking how you will do infrastructure setup by using code. By using code, how you will do. Right, so we are going to do by using Terraform, guys. Either GUI we can do, or by using code also we can do. Right, if you want to do through code, we need to use this Terraform. Right, Terraform is nothing but IaaS, infrastructure as code. Infrastructure as code, guys. Right, so by using Terraform we can set up the infrastructure. Okay, infrastructure is ready. So you need to install the software, servers and all these things, database servers, right? All these things you need to set up. For that, what we are going to use here? Here we are going to use Ansible. Yes, no, I told. Ansible, I'm going to use it here. Right, remaining network, power backup, these things, storage, all these things are, you guys know. Right, so for machines setup we are going to use Terraform. For software installations purpose we are going to use Ansible. Next, what I want to use for downloading the code from the Git repository, what I need to use, which tool I want to use for downloading the code from the GitHub repository. For this purpose we are going to use Git we are going to use, guys. Right, we need to install one software, Git. Right, by using that Git software we can download the code from the GitHub repository. Right, once you downloaded the code, we need to compile and package the code. For compilation purpose and packaging purpose, which tool we are going to use? Right, we are going to use Maven. We are going to use Maven. Maven is a build tool. Maven is a build tool. By using that we are compiling the source code and we are packaging that code as a var or jar. Right, so once this compilation and packaging is done, we need to do the code review. For code review purpose, which tool you are using? SonarQube. SonarQube I am using for code review purpose. SonarQube I am going to use for code review purpose. Right, so next I want to deploy the project into the server. For deployment purpose I am going to use Jenkins. By using Jenkins we are deploying the project into the server. So this is the basic, guys. This is the basic. Advanced means I want to maintain my project into the multiple servers. And here by using Dockers and Kubernetes I am maintaining my project into the multiple servers. What is orchestration? What is containerization? Docker is a containerization tool. Kubernetes is a orchestration tool. We will discuss in detail about those things. Right, so next, after deploying the project into the servers we need to monitor. For monitoring purpose we are using this Prometheus, Grafana, all these things we are using for monitoring purpose. See here we are packaging as a var file. Right, once you convert it as var file, right, we need to maintain all these vars in one repository. Here how code we are maintaining in the GitHub repository, same way after converting into var file and jar files we need to maintain these packages also. To maintain these packages we are going to use Nexus repository. Nexus we are going to use it here. Understood, guys? Right, all these operations should be performed by operations team, guys. See, only developers will upload the code into the GitHub repository. That's it. So next, right, operations team will come into the picture and they will deploy the project into the servers. Right, before deploying, they need to do all these activities. They need to set up the infrastructure, they need to download the code from the GitHub repository, and they need to compile that code, and they need to package that code, and they need to do the code review. Once all these things are success, then only they can deploy the project into the servers by using Jenkins. Understood, guys? Earlier, so this entire process is manual process, guys. Manual process. And once DevOps came into the picture, we automated this entire process. So now manually we no need to do anything. So now what we are going to do Here we are integrating Jenkins and GitHub repository. Jenkins and GitHub repository, right? We are integrating Maven and SonarQube, all these things with Jenkins. Jenkins will download the code from this GitHub repository by using Maven build tool, right? So Jenkins, by using that Maven tool, it will compile and package the code. After that, right, Jenkins will do the code review by using SonarQube. So next, Jenkins will deploy the code into this one, right? Through pipelines, it will deploy the project into this. Everything we are automating it here. See guys, here, so this is development activity. So this is development activity. Right. So this part is operations part. Operations, guys. Now tell me, what is DevOps, guys? The combination of development and operations is called as a DevOps. Right? These two people, development team and operations team, both should work collaboratively to deliver the project to client as quickly as possible. If they want to deliver the project to client quickly, right, then this development team and operations team should work collaboratively, then only they can able to deliver the project to client as quickly as possible. So now tell me guys, what is DevOps? DevOps is a combination of development and operations. Development and operations is nothing but DevOps. Dev means development, ops means operations. The combination of development and operations is called as DevOps. These two people should work collaboratively, guys. Earlier, this entire operations process people will do manually. Nowadays, what we are doing? We are automating this entire process. Whenever developers are upload the code into the repository, immediately my Jenkins will get one notification. We are integrating, we are configuring Jenkins, right, and GitHub repository, we are integrating both, guys. Right? So whenever developers are uploaded, immediately my Jenkins will get the notification, hey, some people commit the code into the repository. Jenkins immediately will download the code from this repository by using Maven and, by using Git, guys. By using Git, it will download the code from the repository, and by using Maven, it will compile that code and it will package that code. Next, by using this SonarQube, Jenkins only, all these things we need to integrate with Jenkins, guys. Right? SonarQube, by using SonarQube, Jenkins is doing the code review. Code quality it is checking. Once it is done, Jenkins will deploy the project into the web servers. See guys, earlier this entire process is manual process. Now we no need to do anything. We need to set up everything. We need to set up, as a DevOps engineers, we need to set up everything. Whenever developers are commit the code into the GitHub repository, immediately notification will come to the Jenkins. Jenkins will do all this process. Every time DevOps team will go and download the code manually, run the build manually, package the code as a var or jar manually, check the code quality manually. Nothing need to do. We need to set up everything one time, right? So my Jenkins will take care everything, guys. Suppose if any pipeline got failed, now we need to verify. Some reports will be generated, right? Why pipelines are failed? Right, due to any reason. It can be any reason. Right. See, suppose developers needs to write some test cases. Right. So if the test cases are not passed, automatically pipeline will get failed. If a code review is not proper, right, they didn't write the code properly, they didn't follow any coding standards, definitely pipeline will get failed. Right. So at that time we need to see the logs. Why pipeline got failed? We need to see the logs, we need to monitor the logs, and we need to inform to them, array, your code is not good, right? So test cases are not passed, some of the test cases are failing, you didn't return the test cases, right? So code is not good, you didn't follow the coding standards. So we need to inform to the development team. They will work again on those things, and again they will deploy the code into the GitHub repository. Whenever they deploy the code into the GitHub repository, immediately our Jenkins will get the notification, and Jenkins will do everything, all this process automatically. Now clear, guys, where operations team will involve exactly? What is DevOps? Clear? What is DevOps is nothing but what? Combination of development and operations is nothing but DevOps. Right? So here, if you want to deliver the project to client quickly, right, quality of the project quickly, I want to deliver the client. So then these two people, development team and operations team, should work collaboratively. Then only they can able to deliver the project to client as quickly as possible. Right, guys? Right, test automation team. Right, so they will write the code. They will write the code and they will upload into the repository, guys. Testing team will write the automation program, Selenium automation programs, and they will upload those programs also into the GitHub repository. Right, Jenkins will download those things also. We need to configure everything in Jenkins pipeline, guys. From where I want to take the source code, we need to configure in the pipeline. From where I want to take the testing Selenium automation programs, we need to configure that repository URL. Whatever the repository URLs we are configuring in that pipelines, right? From there it will take the code. From there, jobs, guys. We will call it as jobs, guys. Right? At the time of creating the job, we need to configure all those things. Based on that URLs, Jenkins will download the code from that locations. Okay, we will see practically. We will see everything, guys. I'm trying to explain where DevOps come into the picture. Up to here, only development team will take care. Remaining everything will be taken care by the operations team only. Now clear, guys? Guys, up to here, anyone have any questions? See, guys, Maven we are going to use, GitHub we are going to use, SonarQube we are going to use, Jenkins we are going to use, Ansible we are going to use, Terraform we are going to use. All these things are covered or not here? Terraform we are going to use for infrastructure setup, just missions, right? Missions setup. Right? If you want to install, if you want to configure the softwares in those missions, we are going to use Ansible. For downloading the code from the GitHub repository, we are using Git. Right? For compiling and packaging purpose, we are using Maven. Right? For code review purpose, we are using SonarQube. For deployment purpose, we are using Jenkins. Right? If you want to maintain this project in multiple servers, right, we are using some containerization tool and orchestration tools, which are DevOps and Kubernetes. Next, to monitor the project, after deploying the project, we need to monitor that project. For that purpose, we are using some of the monitoring tools like Grafana, Prometheus, and all these things. To maintain the packages, we are using Nexus repository. To deploy the project, we are using Tomcat web server. All these things are came or not? Right. Minimum, these are the minimum tools, guys. Right, if I miss anything, I will add minimum 15 DevOps tools we are going to discuss it here. Right, so after that 20 plus AWS services also we are going to discuss. Right, tomorrow I will write those services. What services we are going to discuss, everything I will explain in tomorrow's session. Okay, guys. So first, please have a look into this course content, guys. First, we are going to discuss introduction of the DevOps. Next, we will talk about the Linux and shell scripting. Next, we will talk about the all DevOps tools we will discuss. After that, AWS cloud. Here we are going to discuss 20 plus services. Next, we will talk about the real-time project, right? Python scripting, interview questions, and resume preparation. Right. So guys, so to complete all these things, what is the duration, guys? What is the duration to complete all these things? 3 months. 3 months is required to complete all these things, guys. 3 months is required. Right. So daily class, right? 1 hour 15 minutes to 1 hour 30 minutes, guys. Right, 1 hour 30 minutes. 1 hour 15 minutes to 1 hour 30 minutes I'm going to take daily. Right, Monday to Saturday classes are available. Classes are available from Monday to Saturday. From Monday to Saturday. Classes are available from Monday to Saturday. Right? So this is, guys, you guys no need to write any notes. You guys are not required to write any notes, guys. See how I am typing in this notepad right here today, how I have written in notepad daily. Whatever I'm explaining, everything I will write in a notepad. So instead of you guys, I am preparing the notes at here. You guys not required to write any running notes kind of things also. Just to focus on the subject what I am teaching. Just to focus, guys. Just put some attention on the subject. Everything I will write for you guys. Everything I will write for you guys. You guys no need to write anything. Right? So this once class is completed, I will share this notepad with you guys. Daily class notes is available. Daily class notes is available. Daily class notes is available. Right? So next, right, I think recorded video also they will share. Recorded class video also they will share. After completing the class, right, maybe by end of the day. Why? Because right after completing the class, we need to spend some time to convert this record, guys. Immediately we can't able to share. It will take some time to convert. It should convert into one format. To convert that, it will take some time. So that's why, right, after completing the class, maybe end of the day, right, they will send the recorded video also. Guys, the duration of the course 3 months daily, right, minimum 1 hour 15 minutes to 1.5 an hour class. Right, classes are available from Monday to Saturday. Daily class notes is available. I will share after completing the session. I will share what I am typing in this notepad. I will share with you guys. Recorded class videos also available at here. Okay, guys. Anyone have any questions? Right, after completing this course, you guys can claim 4+ years of experience in DevOps with AWS. So that much in-depth knowledge you guys are going to get. So you guys will become masters in DevOps with AWS after completing this 3 months. So what I am expecting from you guys, daily at least 2 hours, minimum 2 hours practice is required. Without practicing, we can't able to do anything, guys. DevOps means more practice is required. Everything is commands. There is no coding, guys. There is no coding. Right, so only we will do the coding in Python scripting. That is also little bit scripting only. That is there also we are not going to write hundreds of thousands of the lines code, guys. Small scripts we will do. So you guys, if you guys know how to write the for loops, how to write the conditions, right, how to write what is the class, how to create the object for the class, right, by using object how to call the members of the class. If you know those things, that is enough. I will discuss all those things in our Python. Right, so commands, when you guys will become strong in commands, when you guys do the practice, right, daily, then only you guys will become strong in the commands. Daily practice compulsory required, guys. They will create the Telegram group, right? So daily, if you have any questions at the time of practicing, if you guys face any problem, any issue, immediately take the screenshot, input in the Telegram group, right? I will check and I will give the reply, guys. You guys not required to wait until next class, guys. While practicing, if you guys have any issue, you guys are not required to wait until next session. Immediately take the screenshot and put in the Telegram group. Right, I will check and I will give the reply why you guys are getting that issue. Okay, and after completing each tool, I will give the lab task also. Once Maven is complete, I will give one task. You guys need to do that. Once GitHub is completed, I will do one task. So like that, after completing each tool, right, so I will give the lab tasks also. You need to practice those tasks. Then only you can able to work as a professional. Without practicing, you guys can't able to do anything. Only attending the sessions is not enough. Compulsory daily 2 hours minimum practice also must be required. Okay, guys. Morning, guys. Classes will start morning only, not evening. Evening already one batch is running. Right. Morning. Yeah, 7:30 or 8. 7:30 or 8. So they will confirm, guys. Course fee and all these things. Right. So you can contact with admin team. They will update about course fee. Class will start 7:30 or 8. 7:30 or 8. Right. Remaining things you can check with them, guys. They will update you. I'm not sure about these fees and all. Right. So Kalyan, please share your number. They will contact. For fee details and all, please check with them. They will give the update, guys. Okay. Guys, I'm sure you guys will get 4 years of experience candidate. Right. In depth, I'm going to provide. In depth, I'm going to provide, guys. Okay. Fine, guys. If you guys don't have any questions, I'm stopping here. So we will continue tomorrow. Tomorrow, first, I'm going to discuss what services I'm going to cover in AWS. Once it is done, I will start our first topic. I will start with our first topic. Free sessions tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Demo sessions, first 3 days demo sessions. After that, they will change the Zoom link. They will change the Zoom link, guys. If you guys have interest after attending today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow sessions, if you guys are interested and if you guys are okay, you need to enroll. First 3 sessions we will give for free. Yeah. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow also you guys can attend for same time, 7:30. We are planning 7:30 or 8 regular classes. After demo sessions, it will start at 7:40, 7:45, 8. Before 8 only it will start. So we will update that. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow it will start at 7:30 only, guys.
Thank you, sir. Just my question is that when the regular class will start, then what should be the timing in weekdays?
So that's what I'm telling, right? It will start either 7:30 or 8 regular classes also. Before 8 only it will start.
Okay.
Won't class over. So here
Okay, fine.
someone is asking, while doing setup of AWS DevOps, can we do in our missions? Right, guys. So here in our missions, we need to create the account in AWS Cloud, guys. We need to create the account in AWS Cloud. Once you create the account, right, so you can work with that 1 year free. 1 year it is free, guys. Every month you will get 750 hours for free. You no need to pay any rupee, any amount to anyone. So after creating the account in AWS Cloud for 1 year, you will get for free. Every month you will get 750 hours. If you cross that 750 hours, you need to pay the money. Right, but every day 24 hours, 24 into 30, how many hours, guys? More than that we are getting. 750 hours we are going to get per month. So that's why we no need to pay anything. So we can practice all these DevOps services for free. We don't need to worry about that. Right. Sometimes you will get the mails, guys, but don't bother about that mails. Nothing to pay. You don't need to pay anything. You will get some mails. They won't deduct single NP from your account. Directly they won't deduct anything. Right. Okay. It is completely free, guys. I will tell. Once you do the setup right, I will tell.
So in my laptop, it's 4 GB RAM and 500 GB hard disk. So can I able to do that in my laptop?
Okay, we can do. No
Like
problem.
Kubernetes, Docker, Ansible, Git.
Everything we will do in our AWS cloud only. Entire Linux missions, we need to, if we have the good internet connection, right, we need to connect with that AWS missions, right, there we are creating the missions, Linux missions, everything we will practice there only. In our laptop we won't do anything. From our laptop, from our Windows machine, we need to connect with the Linux machines which are created in the AWS cloud. Everything we are going to practice in that only.
Okay, sir, one more question is like Ansible, you have not mentioned in that course content. So
I didn't
also
mention.
Ansible, you are
Here is the right Ansible.
okay. Sure, got that. Yeah, and it's the like a Ansible command prompt, not like Ansible tower.
Here I will explain what is Ansible tower. Also I will explain.
Okay. Fine.
I'm not going to skip anything. Each and every point I will explain. Practically I will show right here Ansible playbooks, guys. Very important Ansible playbooks. Right. So in other institutes, only 1 or 2 playbooks they are returning. Right. They are explaining only 1 or 2 playbooks. Here I will discuss at least 15 playbooks I will discuss with you. So in-depth knowledge I'm going to provide in Ansible also. Don't worry.
Thank you so much.
Still, anyone have any questions, guys? Okay, fine, guys. Thank you. Tomorrow we will meet at 7:30, same time. We will continue our discussion. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for today.
Have a good day. Thank you.